15 years ago, there was a war. Well, war's broken out here plenty of times before. They've tried to invade the Southlands through the Northern Valley time and time again. Luck was never on their side, though, and their victories didn't last long. They didn't realize that times had changed. Facing one defeat after another, losing territory and watching their nation dwindle, they built up their industrial strength to unprecedented heights and used it to wage one final battle against the world. That was 15 years ago. They fought ferociously, but were utterly defeated. The Belkans then committed the unthinkable. They used nuclear weapons on their own soil. Seeing this tragedy unfold before their own eyes, the victorious countries vowed to throw down their weapons. The world was once again at peace, and thanks to them, it seemed it would last forever. On a distant island, far away from civilization, the protectors of the peace take to the skies. Red alert! I was in the sky, trying to get the training team in my viewfinder from the rear seat of the lead plane. My pilot in the front seat was howling at the earth below.
Give me a break. I'm babysitting nuggets up here. Command room to Warhawk Squadron. We have leakers, aircraft type unknown. Crossing the border at Cape Landers, bearing 278 to 302. Captain Bartlett, your flight is the only group close enough to make the intercept. Baker, sense it. Go trail and stay close. The three of us will go hide and teach the bandits. All other aircraft stay low and out of the fight.
The world turned upside down, and my stomach turned inside out.
Sorry about this.
The captain's apology to me seemed misplaced. One instructor had survived the fight, but crashed on landing. The other one was killed in action high up in the clouds. It wasn't his fault that the unidentified aircraft fired on us without warning. Nor was it his fault that the low-altitude area where he sent his trainees was directly in front of the enemy. 8 people died because the command room had misplaced some zeros. That pilot in the number 7 was amazing. Did you see her fight back?
I couldn't bear to watch. Nagase, you keep flying like that and you'll die real soon.
I won't die, sir.
The only surviving trainee's voice was almost a whisper.
Are you sure? You look like you couldn't hurt a fly.
Her face was pale, but she still managed to smile a bit for the camera. The photo, along with my camera, was confiscated by base security. It was as if our little undeclared war never happened. I came to cover this remote island because I heard that a very unique squadron leader was stationed here. I didn't realize he was this unique, though. This bad-mouthed, good-natured old firebrand could take the greenest of rookies and forge him into a fearsome fighter pilot. Of course, that possibility vanished with the day's encounter. The only crew he had left now were Second Lieutenant Nagase and the few pilots that happened to be on the ground that day.
I know you don't like this, but we're short on people. Starting tomorrow, all you nuggets are going to be sitting alert. If we launch, stay glued to me up there. Nagase?
Sir.
You're flying number 2 on my wing.
Gotta keep an eye on you, or who knows what you'll get yourself into.
At ease, people. But don't get too comfortable. It's a grave situation for all of us right now. Let's get this briefing started.
Another aircraft of unknown origin has entered Ocean Federation airspace. We have confirmed the target type as a strategic recon plane flying at very high altitude. Despite our repeated warnings, it continued to penetrate our ADIS and was fired upon by Ocean Coastal Defense Force SAMs. We believe one of our SAMs damaged the unknown plane, but did not destroy it. Radar shows that the aircraft is currently losing altitude and is attempting to egress feet wet towards the ocean. Intercept this target and force it to land for identification. Do not fire upon this aircraft until further orders are transmitted.
This is Heartbreak 1 of War Dog Squadron. We are approaching the target. This is AWACS, call sign Thunderhead. Roger. Bring the target to the ground. Do not fire at the target. Repeat, do not fire at the target.
Emergency transmission from Central.
The whole affair with the unidentified aircraft was covered up. There was even a rumor going around that it was actually a UFO. Officially, the world was still at peace. Having witnessed the battle myself, I wasn't allowed to leave the island.
Why do they even bother reprimanding me anymore? I know I'm gonna be stuck at Captain forever.
Who do you think's covering up the battle?
Listen, the only thing across that ocean is Murska Air Base. That's Yuktobanian territory.
But haven't we been allies with the Ukes since the war 15 years ago?
Yeah. That's why we got people working their asses off trying to confirm what the hell's going on over there. I bet they've got hotlines ringing off the hook somewhere upstairs. The government doesn't want to get the public riled up with all this, you know? But it doesn't matter. Soldiers like us are too stupid to think for ourselves, so we just gotta keep our mouths shut when they tell us to. I feel kind of bad for you, actually.
It's all right. I get to be with you guys.
Captain's probably hating this more than anybody.
Hmm?
He used to have a lady friend over in Yuktobania.
That's just an old war wound now.
A ship of unknown origin has been detected approaching the Sand Island coastline. We've confirmed that this ship has launched numerous unmanned aerial vehicles probably used for reconnaissance. The UAV will likely return to the launch ship for retrieval after completing their spy operations. You are to halt this operation by intercepting and destroying these recon drones before they can be recovered by the ship. However, do not attack the ship until further orders are transmitted.
Warning still in effect. Keep your heads on a swivel. Watch out, Nagasaki. They're down below us, too.
Captain!
Hey, save the waterworks. I'm just gonna bail out here. We can replace these things. It's getting the crew back alive that counts. Make a call to scramble the search and rescue copter and my reserve plane, okay? Warning! Warning! War Dog Squadron, return to base immediately.
But the rescue helicopter isn't here yet.
Leave that to the rescue team. Refuel and rearm at the base, and get back in the air immediately. The enemy has declared war on us.
The reconnaissance UAV and the unidentified fighter aircraft that bounced us during the mission have been shot down. The country of origin of the ship is still unknown, but it has ceased operations in our maritime defense zone and has departed the area. Once we sanitize our coastal waters, we will conduct a search and rescue mission to find Captain Bartlett, who was shot down. Furthermore, the Union of Yuktobanian Republics has officially declared war on the Ocean Federation.
This was the room, or the cell, I had been assigned to. Captain Hamilton. Unlike his superior, the base commander who locked me in here, he's been very reasonable with me. He even got my camera back. He told me that if his uncle wasn't a soldier, he would have liked to have a job like mine.
Well, we don't have any reason to hold you anymore.
What do you mean?
Yuktobania just declared war. They've launched an offensive simultaneously, too. Our naval port at St. Hewlett is getting bombed right now.
There were only 3 of them now.
Due to pressing circumstances, I'll be issuing an emergency in-flight briefing.
Our naval base at St. Hewlett reports that Yuktobanian aircraft have launched a surprise attack on the port. The situation there is critical, with widespread panic. Ships from the 3rd Ocean Naval Fleet docked at the port are currently under attack and taking heavy losses. Hurry to Port St. Hewlett and provide air cover for our naval vessels attempting to escape the bay. Among these ships is the aircraft carrier Kestrel. It is the flagship of the 3rd Naval Fleet and a critical combat asset. You must protect the Kestrel at all costs.
Underhead to Wardle. Edge, you lead the formation.
Negative. You take the lead, Blaze. I'll fly on your wing.
Second Lieutenant Nagasan, follow your orders.
No, Blaze is leading. I'll protect at 6 o'clock. And I'm not gonna lose another flight lead.
Quit screwing around. This is war. The enemy's all over and they're gonna eat you alive.
I'd better stick to the trail position, thanks.
This is Captain Snow. Call sign Swordsman. Engaging next enemy formation. Give me a position.
This is the AA Cruiser Excalibur. The ship blocking us up ahead. You gotta move away. We can't use our spy radar.
I shouldn't have looked. When that enemy plane crashed and covered the water in flames, there were people floating right there. I could see their faces. So many of them. Somebody stop this. I can't take it anymore.
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3 planes. Count them up, man. We're all back safe. I can't wait to tell the captain once they pluck him out of the ocean.
But the captain, Captain Bartlett, never returned to Sand Island.
The aircraft carrier Kestrel has survived the enemy attack and has broken through into open waters. Although the 3rd Ocean Naval Fleet sustained considerable damage, it's still combat capable.
When the rescue chopper arrived, the captain was nowhere to be seen. The only thing they found was the retreating enemy intelligence vessel. This island used to be a place of exile from the rest of the world. It then became our first line of defense against the enemy.
kidding me? An air raid? Give me a break, man.
Restriction is canceled. Protect our base. We're good to go here too. Ready when you are.
Time for taking off.
Look at the hangar. Who the hell pulled that out?
This is Grim. I was in the hangar helping out the mechanic. I'm taking off.
The hell you are? You're not even out of replacement pilot training yet. Aren't there any other spare pilots around?
I didn't see any.
There's no time. Be careful, Grim. I'll cover you.
I'll try.
We sustained damage, but our efforts prevented the destruction of the base. The base is still combat capable, with repairs proceeding at a rapid pace.
From the sky, the morning after. Pops came back like nothing had happened, as if the open sky had always been his one true home. Only 17 hours had passed since the war began. Yuktobania's war strategies seemed to be minutely timed to avoid giving Osea any chance to launch a counterattack. I got a notice of assignment as a member of the press corps. I guess Captain Hamilton had pulled a few strings for me. I didn't waste any time going to work. Second Lieutenant Nagase, inside the crew room. She's sitting by herself, writing something in her book. Nobody knew what she was writing. I realized these people may well be the story I was looking for all this time. In fact, I was sure of it.
Attention! Listen up! The biggest mistake Yuktobania has made in their blitz attack is that it had failed to sink any of our aircraft carriers. We'll evacuate all intact carriers to our inland sea, then use them as a base to rebuild our counter-strike force. You've been called to service on a very important operation, people. Keep that in mind out there.
Today at 1500 hours, 3 carriers from the 3rd Ocean Naval Fleet will rendezvous at Eglin Straits. These carriers are the Vulture, the Buzzard, and the Kestrel, which has successfully escaped from Port St. Hewlett, thanks to your help. Your mission is to coordinate with the Kestrel and provide top cover for all carriers during the rendezvous. Should you encounter enemy attack, defend the 3 carriers at all costs. The situation is fluid, so be sure to choose an aircraft with good defensive capability against both air and ground-based threats.
It was nothing. Easiest mission in the world. That's what it was supposed to be. It wasn't just us, but everyone they could get their hands on. General mobilization. Our planes filled the sky like a huge aluminum cloud. There was no way the enemy could attack. The Queens of the Ocean made it to the inland sea. We've got it made in the shade now.
Two aircraft carriers lost. I can't believe this is all that's left of our force. We don't have enough fuel to get back to base either.
War Dog Squadron, we can't get a tanker aircraft over to you. Proceed northeast to Higher Lock Base, land and refuel.
Hey, Booby! You really should start calling him Captain. Forget it. If he's a captain, then I want him to start trash talking like a captain. Man, I'm missing that voice real bad now.
He's got us back alive from battle for the second time. As far as I'm concerned, he's our captain now.
That's right. And I'll never lose my lead plane again. No matter what.
The enemy attack squadron has withdrawn from the area. The aircraft carriers Vulture and Buzzard were sunk by a powerful burst missile attack. According to hydrophone data analysis, we have determined that the attack was carried out by the Sinfaxi, a Yuktobanian underwater attack carrier. The specs of this ship are unknown, but its existence confirms that the advanced shipbuilding efforts of the Yuktobanians have been going on unabated since the previous war. The Sinfaxi is a serious threat to our objectives. Emergency transmission from Central. Our Army has decided to deploy the military power of the Arkbird to neutralize the grave threat posed by this new enemy submarine.
We set off for the northern region to refuel. This place is paradise compared to what's further ahead. Beyond our destination lies the closed gate to Nord-Belka. 15 years ago, the Belkans set off 7 nuclear bombs there to stave off the advancing Allied forces, entombing themselves in the frozen valleys to the north. That bit of history should have been enough of a lesson for us all. The 7 Belkan cities near the gate were vaporized, and the local area is still highly radioactive. Our landing point was in the state of North Ossia, formerly a haven for Belkans, but now entrusted to Ossian. If you refer to it by that name in front of a local, he'll put a scowl on his face and tell you that this is South Belka. Higher Lark meant a lot to us. Our flight training took place here on this airfield. On the base, we were surrounded by junior cadets, eager to hear war stories. The newspaper article about us written by that journalist Jeanette made it here faster than we did. Somewhere along the line, we had become the most experienced pilots in the entire world. Us, Captain Barnett's Nuggets. We were directed to take these inexperienced pilots back with us to Sand Island when we returned.
Man, we better thank Pops for this. Like that. Cuz, he's the guy who pounded basic fighter maneuvers into us. Now we can lord it over all these guys.
You said it. These pilots had only a tenuous grasp of flying, much less mid-air refueling, so we had to land at every base along the way. I can't believe we have to send them off to guard the western coastline.
An SSTO craft launch facility lies to the east of our current location, McNeely Air Force Base. The facility was a collaborative project between Ossia and Yuktobania. It was built to be a bridge to outer space, with a mass driver 7.5 miles in length. Our radar has detected several planes from a Yuktobanian squadron approaching the facility from several directions. The facility is currently conducting pre-launch operations for an SSTO craft. The base commander will provide you with further orders.
This is the commander of McNeely Air Force Base. All units, including those refueling at this base, are now under my command. Engage the incoming enemy. All untrained pilots are barred from taking off. Those guys are still kids.
10 minutes to launch. Commencing countdown.
I remember this space center well. The mass driver was built by Osea and Yuktobania as part of their collaborative efforts to construct an international space station. Our anti-war president used the surplus funds that came from cutting the defense budget to build it.
Is that the Arkbird?
The Arkbird, a white bird built as the first step toward the realization of the space station project. Now it's left its orbit and is just low enough to graze the atmosphere. It's coming down to pick up the laser cannon they're about to launch. They were building a bridge of peace that would span into outer space. Not anymore. The machinery meant for this peaceful mission was about to be used for our counterattack.
Hey, listen.
Yes?
Isn't that thing supposed to work like a satellite? Why'd it climb down all this way?
It's a maneuverable orbiting spacecraft.
I know that. I'm just saying, if the system uses atmospheric friction to change its orbit, then wouldn't that make it pretty hard to defend itself?
I guess it'd be in trouble if someone started firing at it right now.
Yeah, so shouldn't it be higher up then? Continue countdown. 3 minutes to launch.
The white bird rose up once again. Laser cannon in its wings. It was a moving sight. In my heart, though, I wished it didn't have to be used in war.
None of them found out why the enemy targeted the base until much later. Of course, by that time, it was too late.
We prevented the Yuktobanian army from capturing the launch facility. The SSTO launch was successful. The SSTO docked with the Arkbird, which had descended into the upper atmosphere, and successfully transferred a laser weapon module over to the craft. All aircraft with the 108th Tactical Fighter Squadron and the Sand Island Detachment return to base as soon as rearming and refueling operations are complete.
You people are like the plague, you know that? The moment you return to Sand Island, this happens.
A large combined force of Yuktobanian vessels and aircraft has been detected advancing in the ocean directly toward Sand Island from the west. Our intelligence has confirmed the presence of amphibious assault ships within the oncoming fleet. We believe the enemy's goal is to conduct a landing operation on Sand Island and capture this base. Close with the enemy, disrupt landing operations, and suppress their naval gunfire directed at our forces ashore.
Even if this turns into a ground war, I am prepared to fight for this island to the bitter end. As my advanced guard, I want you to forget everything else and concentrate on dealing a lethal blow to the incoming enemy invasion fleet. We'll be deploying everything we've got. Launch every aircraft capable of anti-ship combat, regardless of combat experience.
The Arkbird was successfully employed over the forward edge of the battle area. The enemy amphibious force attacking Sand Island was repelled, and their invasion plans halted. The underwater carrier Sinfaxi, a lethal enemy threat, was engaged and destroyed by the superior firepower of the Arkbird. Having lost the support of the Sinfaxi, the remaining Yuktobanian forces retreated. Furthermore, we are requesting reinforcements from Central Command to replace our squadron members lost in combat.
Since we thwarted their invasion, we haven't seen any major offensive operation by the enemy for several weeks. Almost like we're at peace again, eh, people? Anyway, let's start the briefing.
Yuktobanian combat operations have been dormant since their failed large-scale invasion and the loss of their underwater carrier, Sinfaxi. However, there is still concern over a possible infiltration by small-scale forces from the ground and the air. You will split into flights of 2 and carry out patrols in the area from Akerson Hill to the northern coastline. The airspace above the grain fields extending around Akerson is covered by our Ocean AA system. The system automatically fires missiles at any hostile aircraft it detects. Patrol the northern coastline of Akerson Hill, which is out of our AA system's range.
Finally, a response. This is the Ocean Air Force transport plane Mother Goose 1. We're flying to the neutral country of North... We have the transmitter set to minimum power. Please come in closer so we can hear. I think this is you on our radar. Can you see us? We'd like you to guide us to a safe passage corridor through the AA defenses. We're on a top-secret mission and are not transmitting a valid friendly ID signal to the ground-based automatic defense systems. As a result, a friendly surface-to-air missile was mistakenly fired at us. We narrowly avoided a direct hit, but our radar system was destroyed, and we can't fly a safe path through the AA system.
Guide the transport plane through the AA system's radar coverage and take it to Akerson Hill. The transport is on a top-secret mission, so its ID signal has not been registered in the AA system's database. As a result, if the transport is picked up by the AA system, it may be shot down by our own missile fire. The engagement zone of this ground-based AA system is displayed on your radar. Due to combat damage, the transport's radar system is inoperable, and its maneuverability restricted. Guide the plane so it stays out of the AA system's engagement zone.
Are you all right, Mr. Cargo?
Yeah, I guess. That was a pretty smooth ride, actually.
Mr. Cargo, I've got a question I'd like to ask you.
What is it?
The Bird of Peace. Did you really have to use that beautiful white bird for this war? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wanted to see your Bridge of Peace span into outer space.
It's still possible. Thanks to the bird, we're on even terms now. I'm trying to get to North Point because I believe we have a chance.
To hold talks in neutral territory.
Right. Communication is vital.
So I can still believe in you, then. I don't want to see any more young men or women lose their lives.
Me neither.
Uh-oh, I'm out of fuel. This is the Ocean Air Force 8492nd Squadron. We observed the emergency landing on our radar. Can you see us? You can leave the rest to us. We'll provide support until the transport plane's crew is rescued.
Roger, 8492nd. Take care of them for us.
Sure thing.
We've received a sitrep from Central Command. The crew on board the transport plane you encountered during your patrol has been rescued by the 8492nd Squadron. That is currently all the information we have.
After my article, The Four Wings of Sand Island, was published to wide acclaim, I grew bolder. Here was a profile view of the base commander, the emperor of this base.
Don't. He's in a bad mood today. If he catches you, he'll have your head.
What happened?
The Arkbird.
Huh?
The white bird in outer space, with Yuktobania outclassing us in firepower. It was the President's one trump card in the peace negotiations. And now, it's fallen right out of our hands.
So you're saying we don't know how long the war will drag on? The Arcbird. A superweapon capable of attacking from space, far beyond the reach of the enemy. Its power generator was destroyed by explosives planted inside a supply shipment launched from Earth. Once again, the balance of power had tipped toward Yuktobania.
Our army is finally ready to conduct a large-scale counterattack against Yuktobania. If we succeed, we'll never have to face the humiliation of those Yukes trampling on our homeland again. The goal of this operation is simple: to invade and occupy the Yuktobanian mainland.
We're going to conduct a large-scale amphibious assault against Yuktobania on the Vostok Peninsula. This mission will be called Operation Footprint. The landing force will be selected from the 1st and 2nd Ocean Army Battalions. They will be divided into 4 companies, A, B, C, and D, and transported to the area via landing craft. Upon landing, each division will fan out and destroy the enemy bases scattered throughout the area, then rendezvous and reform into a single large force unit to assault the final target, the fortress. The Yuktobanian defense positions along the coast are tightly dug in, and we have concluded that air attacks alone will not be enough to destroy them. Therefore, Operation Footprint will be a synchronized air and ground attack to neutralize these positions. It is critical that you follow the specific targeting instructions of the ground commander to maximize the effects of your attacks. We are expecting poor weather conditions and fierce resistance from the Yuktobanian defense forces. The fortress is protected by pillboxes and a defensive wall. Provide close air support for the ground forces and get as many soldiers as possible inside.
I wish you the best of luck in battle.
After intense fighting, the landing force captured and secured the fortress target. Thanks to the success of Operation Footprint, we have secured the southeastern coast of Yuktobania. We've decided to make the fortress our first forward base on Yuktobania as we expand our combat operations inside the country. After we complete construction of our defensive positions, our ground forces will continue their advance to the final target, the capital city of Sinigrad. The Yuktobanian force that defended the Vostok Peninsula is staging a large-scale withdrawal from the area. After analyzing the situation, we have determined that they are pulling back the force to regroup their defense network and strengthen their capital defenses. Yuktobania's southern armies sustained heavy damage during our landing operation, and their defensive war power has weakened considerably. Their withdrawal is currently proceeding under the curtain of a set of electronic jamming signals. The enemy's air forces consist primarily of transport planes. Pursue these planes, destroy them, and halt their retreat. We have succeeded in halting the Yuktobanian army's airborne withdrawal from the Vostok Peninsula. However, a Yuktobanian civilian complex and engineering university has been attacked. This attack occurred in an area within operating range of the Sand Island Squadron. Sand Island air crews will report to Central Command headquarters in the Ocean capital city of Aured immediately.
General Howell, Supreme Commander of the Ocean armies deployed to Yuktobania, successfully stormed the enemy beach and established a command center on the spot. The general, who claims to have been given full operational authority by the President, then made the following declaration. We will march forward, and we will not lay down our arms until the Yuktubanian capital has fallen. Aured, the Ocean capital. The winds of war have yet to reach here. The air still smells of peace.
But that wasn't us. By the time we got there, they had already...
That's right. We heard them over the radio. They called themselves the 8492nd Squadron.
8492! 8492! Is that all you people have to say? There is no squadron in our military with that number.
Damn it! What the hell's going on here?
We've got an emergency here. Our armies are bogged down with the Yuktubania invasion, so we're short on operational aircraft. Unfortunately, as a result, we're going to have to request that you flying aces take off for us. So, which mission would you like to take on? That's right, the capital's got more than one attack to deal with right now. How about we use this to decide?
Yuktubanian aircraft have suddenly been detected on radar southwest of Aured. They are flying in the direction of Apito International Airport, located in the area between Aured Bay and the capital. Apito International is a civilian airport. The enemy's intentions are unknown. Passengers and personnel are currently being evacuated, but the sudden appearance of the enemy has plunged the airport into chaos. Intercept and engage the invading enemy formation and protect Apito International Airport.
Tanks coming out of transport planes! They're firing! It's the enemy! Enemy forces inside the airport!
The enemy forces that tried to capture Apito International Airport have been destroyed. Hopefully, we'll find out how they managed to infiltrate the airport after we complete our investigation. Additionally, the effects of the chemical attack on the college town of Bana are currently subsiding, thanks to the neutralizing agent that was spread. The group that carried out the chemical attack are all but confirmed to be a Yuktubanian Special Forces commando unit. They were planning to link up with the main force at the airport, but they aborted their plan and slipped away upon hearing that their main force was defeated. The Yuktubanians have defiled our soil. Worse, they tried to destroy a civilian airport. We've got to defeat them, no matter the cost. We'll be sending you back to the front lines of the Yuktubania mainland. If you all really are innocent, then I hope you can prove it out there on the battlefield.
I will now brief the details of your mission orders. That's all I have to say to you right now, people. If you all really are innocent, then I suggest you prove it out there on the battlefield.
We have discovered the position of a secret facility in Yuktubania used to store ammunition. According to our information, the base is located deep in the jungles north of Lake Dama. The facility is massive and contains enough ammunition to supply a Yuktubanian ground division for a week of combat operations. Destroy this stockpile and cut off their frontline ammunition supply. Note that we've been getting a lot of attacks from soldiers hiding in the dense jungles with shoulder-mounted SAMs. They are very hard to detect from the air, so stay heads up for sudden attacks from these missiles when flying at low altitude. The targeted ammunition stockpile facility was destroyed. With this operation, we have cut off one of the lifelines of the Yuktubanian army. Their ability to conduct operations will be reduced across the entire nation.
Despite the hectic mood among the staff at HQ, the start of the briefing was delayed. But the weary pilots, knowing full well that they must force their exhausted bodies back into the air once the order was given, weren't the slightest bit disturbed by the delay.
Hey, what are you writing there?
I just can't remember this next phrase.
Here, let me see.
Hey! The princess couldn't feed the dove that day. She was too sick.
May I take a look?
Rosgrees. The demon of Rosgrees got her, right?
You know the story?
The demon from the North Sea. I remember. My grandma used to tell me bedtime stories about it. And every time she did, I'd be too scared to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night.
Settle down, people.
I know a little about that famous legend, too. When history witnesses a great change, Rosgrees reveals itself, first as a dark demon. As a demon, it uses its power to rain death upon the land, and then it dies. However, after a period of slumber, Rosgrees returns.
Gentlemen! Excuse me, Colonel. This is an absolutely vital mission to us. As the staff advisor sent from Central HQ for this effort, I'd like to explain it myself. The Osean army is planning a vast offensive with the ultimate objective of occupying the capital of Yuktobania. If this operation succeeds, it will end the war in very short order. However, the Yuktobanians have attacked our beachhead with ballistic missiles from the Rimfaxi, a Sinfaxi-class submersible carrier stationed in the icy waters of Rosgrees Straits. Fortunately, our ground forces had already completed attack preparations, so despite the missile attack, the offensive began as planned. Nevertheless, we must neutralize the threat of another Rimfaxi missile attack on our ground forces.
We have a single chance to stage a successful air attack on the underwater carrier Rimfaxi. Our passive sonar has detected a transport submarine that we believe is headed for the Rimfaxi. We believe the transport sub's mission is to supply the Rimfaxi with missiles. Based on its course and speed, we've calculated its rendezvous time with the Rimfaxi. By amazing coincidence, it is precisely the same time as the 0 hour of our ground attack. At this time, the Rimfaxi will have to surface to restock its missiles. At that exact moment, ingress at low altitude to avoid detection, launch a surprise attack, and sink the Rimfaxi. Once surfaced, it only takes the Rimfaxi 1 minute to rig for an emergency dive. If your approach is detected, you will only have 1 minute to complete your attack on the Rimfaxi.
Now keep in mind, there won't be any support from Arkbird this time around. This mission rests solely on your shoulders. The entire ground offensive is relying on this first surprise attack, so don't disappoint us. I want you to turn the icy Rosgrees Straits into the enemy's graveyard.
The Rimfaxi's antenna has appeared above water. It's surfacing.
Rimfaxi launching burst missiles!
Launching carrier jets.
Me? Heavens. The ace pilots who sunk the enemy submarines are right over there. And I'm the person you want to interview now?
No, it's not that. It's just that I heard you used to be a fighter pilot yourself.
I just fly freight planes for the maintenance crews now. The captain, Captain Bartlett that is, said it was time for an old man like me to quit trying to compete with the young guys. Talk about a lack of respect.
Where did you meet Captain Bartlett?
We were both shot down and we bailed out behind enemy lines in the last war. We got through the bullet-ridden battlefield and made it back to the Allied front line. I tell you, it was tough getting the Army to believe we were on their side.
Shot down? You two?
Hey, it was a long time ago. Everyone makes mistakes, right?
Oh, no, I didn't mean it that way. Even if you're not flying with those pilots, your age and experience provide a lot of support for all of them. I just wanted to tell you that. I've seen that you really listen to what they say, and you always have helpful suggestions for them.
Well, thank you.
I think they're all going to need you, now more than ever.
I'll do what I can.
These people, it's like they're walking on a tightrope that could snap at any second. They're going to reach their breaking point sooner or later.
Yeah.
Our ground offensive is continuing its fast-paced push into Yuktobanian soil. A POW internment camp was discovered during the offensive, and a team of Marines has attacked and captured the camp. The Marines have secured the camp's radio room, and a flight of helicopters is en route to retrieve the prisoners. Your mission is to provide close air support for this rescue and retrieval operation. The radio room could be retaken by the enemy at any moment. If it is, the enemy will report the attack and the rescue will end in failure. Find and shoot down all enemy aircraft in the local airspace and secure air superiority across the entire area.
Damn it, Nagasaki!
After all the captain said to me,
You all right?
I'm fine. My plane's trashed, but those are always replaceable.
The POW rescue operation was a success, and both the Marines and our friends held in the camp were safely recovered. As for Captain K. Nagase, who was attacked and bailed out during the operation, Colonel Perot will issue orders on her behalf. Central Command will be replacing Captain Nagase's plane that was lost in the crash.
None of the rescued POWs saw Bartlett in the internment camp. Now, where could he be, I wonder? Upon more favorable weather conditions, we will carry out a rescue operation for Captain Nagase. That's right. You've all been promoted yet again. You guys are burning through the ranks, you know that? You can thank High Command for it.
She'd left her book in the crew room. A Blue Dove for the Princess. That was the title of the book she left behind. A favorite book from her childhood. The pages have torn off over the years, and she had been writing down the words that were on those pages, trying to remember every sentence and every verse.
I loved this book so much, but I only have faint memories of what was inside. I feel like I've grown so far away from everything since then.
I remember how she looked when she told me that. I couldn't help wondering, did she choose to crash on purpose, rather than having to take part in the invasion of another country?
Bring back Captain Nagase. Don't make us have to give her a posthumous 2-rank promotion.
We've succeeded in tracking down Captain K. Nagase's distress beacon. We will now launch a combat search and rescue operation for the captain. Captain Nagase is currently on the run from an enemy patrol. Although she's being pursued, her distress beacon is still broadcasting. This transmission is extremely weak, so we cannot confirm her location unless we get closer to the source of the signal. Follow the signal to find Captain Nagase's concealed location as quickly as possible. Once you find her, report her location to the Sea Goblin Helicopter Squadron. The helicopter search and rescue team is expected to face stiff opposition from enemy air and ground forces. After the helicopter team picks up Captain Nagase, provide air support for them as they airlift her out. Our combat search and rescue of Captain Nagase was a success. We're having a physician check on her condition right now.
When the rescue team found her, she was holding captive a group of soldiers who were sent in to capture her. Behind her was the helicopter crew that crashed while trying to rescue her. She had saved them, treated their wounds, and hid them in a safe place. I needed to rethink my image of her after this, after seeing her amazing toughness and tenacity. She even managed to obtain a little information from the soldiers she captured. It seems the people of Yuktobania were also beginning to have doubts about their leaders in the current war. And word of Nagase's squadron was getting around, as the force that sunk 2 of their most powerful submarines. The Yuk Army's soldiers had nicknamed them the Demons of Razgriz. She was obviously very proud of that when she told me about it later. Perhaps her pride was for Captain Bartlett, the man who had trained them, or maybe it was for her current captain. However, nobody in the upper echelons of her own army was proud of them. Bartlett was still missing, and that made his old trainees the subject of suspicion and criticism.
What? What do you mean it's our turn to choose?
Well, this is it. Our ground forces will engage in a decisive battle with the enemy's main force in the Jalachi Desert. If our army wins this showdown of military might, we'll be just a hair away from total victory. We've still got some work for you, too. So don't slack off now.
This mission will be referred to as Operation Desert Arrow. The operation will be spread across the entire northern part of the Jalachi Desert. Its final target is at 2 separate strategic positions: the field HQ in the northern region of the mission area, and the airfield in the western region. A bomber squadron will attack the field headquarters, while the Army 1st Tank Battalion will advance toward the airstrip. Your mission this time is to protect both units from defending enemy forces. This operation is spread out across the entirety of a wide command area. You'll be up against a large number of enemy forces, so choose your opponents carefully. Don't try to take on all of them. Destroying a certain number of enemy forces within your allotted time on station will be considered successful completion of the mission. Operation Desert Arrow commences today at 10:50 hours. Operation Desert Arrow was a success. Yuktobania's field headquarters and the airfield both fell to our forces. The Osean Army is advancing quickly on all fronts, and enemy forces in the northern part of the Jalachi Desert are on the verge of being annihilated. The ground forces, fresh from securing the Jalachi area of operations, have set off for Kruik Fortress in their quest to liberate Zinigrad.
Our ground forces have scored a major victory. If we can destroy the fortress standing in our path, we'll open a road to the capital of Yuktobania. Then we'll storm the heart of the enemy. We're holding a peace ceremony at a stadium in November City. Our vice president will be giving a speech to rally the citizens. Now, you've been asked to do a flyby above the ceremony. Don't screw this up! You should consider this an honor and do your part to boost citizen morale. This is the vice president we're dealing with here, so consider this a guard detail as well, and be prepared for anything out there.
Your mission this time takes place above November International Stadium, a gigantic 70,000-seat arena located in the center of the city of November on the southern coastline of Osean. Vice President Appleruth is giving a speech there, and you will be conducting a flyby above the stadium as part of the production. You can return to base at 17:30 hours, the time the speech is scheduled to end. After the flyby, remain in formation and conduct a combat air patrol in and around the stadium until that time. This is a ceremonial flight, but you will be fully armed in case of an emergency. Don't forget to patrol the airspace surrounding the stadium, too.
People of Osea, please lend an ear to this broadcast. As your Vice President, I stand here on behalf of the President of Osea. Listen to your fellow countrymen, cheering before me. They are filled with anger against Yuktobania, and they swear that they will not drop their weapons until Yuktobania has surrendered. Now, I want you to listen.
Great. Here comes the thunderous applause.
Vice President Appleruth escaped from the stadium in his personal vehicle. Despite the late arrival of reinforcements, civilian casualties were kept to a bare minimum. The Yuktobanian fighters' ingress route is currently under investigation. Captain Alvin H. Davenport, who lost his life in the battle, is no longer with the team. He has been granted a posthumous 2-rank promotion.
Look at that wreckage. I'm amazed they're still making them like this.
They?
This looks like a standard fighter jet, but it's actually different. And they've done a lot of things to reduce the number of parts and cut down manufacturing costs, without sacrificing the plane's strength and performance. Very cost-effective. You could make 3 planes for the price of 2 this way.
Who's this they you're referring to?
North Osea Grunder Industries, formerly the South Belka Munitions Factory, run by the Belkan government.
But Osea has taken over that land now. South Belkan technology is being used for Osea. Why does Yuktobania have this?
Good question. Actually, speaking of Belka, Osea recruited some Belkan flying aces after the war 15 years ago to strengthen our Air Force. You know about this?
No. Really?
An aggressor squadron comprised entirely of Belkan aces, our old enemy. Well, that's the rumor anyway. Even an old fox like me isn't sure they exist. I bet the current administration isn't even aware of the story.
Before the Osean ground forces can proceed into the Yuktobanian capital of Sinigrad, they'll have to deal with Kuruk Fortress directly in their path. The robust defense of this fortress has stalled the advance of our armies for the past 5 days. If this situation continues for much longer, it will give Yuktobania time to complete preparations for a counterattack. We need to take the fortress and enable our ground forces to reach the enemy capital as quickly as possible. To do this, we will launch an air attack on Kuruk Fortress. Our last attack sortie fell prey to their anti-aircraft guns and air defense fighters. Deal a decisive blow to the fortress and its surrounding air power, and support the ground forces as they penetrate the complex. Open the door to Kuruk. The day of Sinigrad's liberation is near.
Keep cover to Abel. Today we're gonna do it. This is Abel. Don't be stupid. Can't you see that wall in front of us? We're getting air support from Sand Island today. Roger that. I'll tell everyone now.
The so-called impregnable fortress fell in half a day, and the momentum of the Osean army had reached a peak. Its final stronghold lost, the Yuktobanian army was setting up a barricade in the urban area up ahead. The next battle could see a lot of bloodshed, with innocent civilians caught in the crossfire. However, the men and officers of the Osean army were optimistic. They thought, as long as the 3 fighters from Sand Island were taking part in the action, things would turn out all right. They have become the center of the army's strength now.
Squadron, this is Thunderhead. Fly to the Taker for refueling. There is an Allied squadron to the east of your position. They'll guide you to the Taker for air refueling. Good work, people. We're 1 step away from the enemy's capital. We can win this as long as you're with us. I can feel it.
Those enemy pilots we fought today. I can't imagine how wonderful it would be to fly with them in peacetime.
Yeah.
War Dog, this is the 8492nd Squadron. Can you see us? It'll be an honor for us to escort you heroes. Let's go home.
Yeah, but I'm still wondering what Captain Chopper was doing when... Enemy ECM! Wait a second. An escort plane. Oh, no!
The 8492nd Squadron doesn't exist!
Someone in the Army's trying to lead us into a trap. Just like back at the stadium.
Thunderhead! Thunderhead, respond!
Multiple unmarked fighters inbound. Hey, is that their voice on the radio?
You must destroy them. We can't let them end this war.
Roger. We'll surround them and attack from all directions.
The 8492nd Squadron aren't Yuktobanian spies?
8492, 8492, 8492. I know I've heard that somewhere before. That's right. When we were helping the President's emergency landing, it was the 8492nd who took our place.
Yeah, you're right.
They got the President, too. So that's what escalated the war?
Yeah.
We've got to tell people about this. But how? We're completely surrounded.
So we'll break through.
Would it surprise you if I said that President Harling is nowhere to be found within the capital?
Not really. The hardline war Osea is waging right now hardly resembles the peace policy the president was promoting. Let me guess. He disappeared just before we invaded Yuktobania, right?
Exactly. My journalist friends told me that nobody's seen him enter or leave the office since. All of his decisions are communicated through the vice president. And it gets better. A lot of the military officers that resigned over disagreement with the president's arms reduction plan have started to return to the capital.
I found out something myself. That Belkan aggressor force I was telling you about. Apparently, they're called the 8492nd Squadron. Also, And here's the kicker. Captain Hamilton, the adjutant base commander here, used to be assigned to the 8492nd.
What?
Oh, they're back.
There's no point in talking to that blockhead commander. He treated our president like an idiot just because he wanted peace.
What about his adjutant, Captain Hamilton?
Roger that. The captain and I will go see him. Grim, you go let Jeanette and Pops know.
Right. Be careful.
What? Nagase and the captain went to see Hamilton?
What is it? Did I do something wrong?
Let's hurry.
You got it.
We don't have time to warn the captain in Nagase. We'll have to talk to the base commander ourselves.
Thank you for coming, Second Lieutenant. I was just thinking about calling you over.
Me?
Special Forces Second Lieutenant Peter N. Beagle. Or I guess you prefer Pops. 15 years ago, you and Bartlett were shot down over enemy terrain. Bartlett's Squadron HQ was destroyed, and all of its data was fried by Belka's magnetic pulse weaponry. When you made it back to the Allied front lines, it was Bartlett's word that convinced them that you were his squadron leader. Is that really true? Bartlett turned out to be a spy. So, who are you really? Can't prove anything about your military record, can you?
This way!
Arrest them on sight! They're spies! Shoot them if you have to!
Hamilton's got the base commander deceived, too.
I punched that guy's lights out. That bastard was wearing a major's insignia on his shoulder.
I don't know who it is, but someone's trying to widen the rift between the two countries and keep this war going. If OC continues to win, then the war will be over.
And they're after us to prevent that? You're kidding!
You people are the pillar of morale for the entire Ocean army now.
And now you know something you were better off not knowing. The president's disappearance.
Listen, Pops, who exactly are you?
It's no good. They seized our planes in the hangars.
Hangar C in the rear probably isn't so heavily guarded.
Yeah, but over there's nothing but...
We'll escape with my training jets. Good thing I maintain all my planes well, eh? Let's try it. Jeanette, you take the seat behind me.
They're getting away! Fire! Take them down!
Okay, let's get out of here. All right, now keep climbing to a higher altitude. Attention all Air Force planes. Enemy spy elements have made off with 4 training jets and are heading north. Find them and shoot them down. Repeat, all Air Force planes.
That's Hamilton's voice. The bastard. Guess I'll try my hand in combat maneuvering then. Excuse me while I take the lead. Follow me, people.
This is the 8492nd Squadron. We have a visual on the enemy. Engaging.
It's them!
This is Thunderhead. Roger, 8492nd. Are those guys really traitors?
Yeah. I can't believe it. You can believe what you want, but it's the truth. 8492nd Squadron, you have permission to shoot down those planes.
8492nd, Roger.
I'll get you guys out of here. You all stay with me now. Good answer. This is Thunderhead. What happened to the 8492nd? We're seeing the traitors on the radar again.
There they are again.
This is Swordsman. I just found them. So now I just shoot him down?
Exactly.
He's not really our enemy.
It's a signal light. Trust me. Bail out. He wants us to bail out?
What say we trust him then? Jeanette, you first.
Swordsman to Thunderhead. Splash 1. Tracked on radar. Kill confirmed. Just one left.
This is Pix. I do not see any floating debris in the water.
Image faded from radar. All planes destroyed. You'd better give me a medal for this later. This is Sea Goblin. We have found the floating remains of the destroyed aircraft in the water. I don't see any of the crew. It looks like they couldn't eject and sank with their planes. Roger, Sea Goblin. Return to base. All right, let's go. We've got a new home waiting for you.
All planes from the Sand Island detachment were shot down by naval jets from the carrier Kestrel. Likewise, all of the pilots are confirmed dead.
Captain Anderson, the man who commanded the aircraft carrier Kestrel and kept her afloat through countless battles.
Nah, I'm just a guy who's fought one losing battle after another.
However, since this war began, this ship hadn't taken a single hit from enemy forces.
This ship may be unharmed, but it pains me to see fewer and fewer pilots coming back every time we launch them out on combat sorties. Now the only pilot left is Captain Snow, the squad leader. Nobody wants an aircraft carrier without aircraft. So we're just sitting idle here.
At the end of the last war,
I was assigned the mission of dropping a nuclear weapon on a city in my own country. When I refused and went AWOL, it was Captain Bartlett who took me in. His nickname was also Booby back then. He was a strange man. 15 years since the war, and he never got promoted once. In my country, there was a group called the Gray Men, and likely to still be around today. To them, I'm a traitor. And for the past 15 years, Bartlett's protected me from them. Speaking of which, you don't think the Gray Men are involved with the disappearance of President Harling, do you?
I've got an intelligence-gathering vessel in my fleet, the Andromeda, that's capable of intercepting all forms of communications. Recently, it picked up a secret message transmitted in Belkan. That, Colonel, is why I called all of you here.
All this intense flying's tough on an old body. From here on out, it's their time to shine. But what'll we do about planes?
We've captured a ship trying to smuggle aircraft from a South Belkan company into Yuktobania. Plenty of planes to choose from.
All right. If there aren't any objections, then I'll take command of this air operation.
We're launching a rescue operation for the President of Osea within the Principality of Belka. The communications intelligence ship Andromeda received information that President Harling is being held in Belka. The location is an old castle positioned on the southern edge of the border zone between Belka and North Osea. Sea Goblin, our helicopter squadron, will handle the direct rescue effort. After securing the area, a helicopter will descend on the castle and drop our infiltrating rescue squad. It will station keep in the air while the rescue is taking place on the ground and in the castle. Your mission is to provide air support for the Sea Goblin's rescue operation and destroy any opposing enemy forces. Choose an aircraft for the mission from the Kestrel's carrier jets and prepare to launch.
Raising pressure, 70, 80, 90, point 15, 48, 32. Confirm, roger.
Go, sir. Ready to launch anytime. Fighters launch. Flight deck to all flight crews. Hurry up. We've got more coming. This is the flight deck. Roger that, sir.
Takeoff complete. Next craft, begin takeoff procedure. Catapult 1 raising pressure, 80, 90, we're in the green zone.
Check catapults. Raise the barriers.
Blaze, you are cleared for takeoff. Blaze, altitude restrictions canceled. Return to your mission. Good luck.
Mission accomplished. President Harling was safely retrieved. The President is showing some signs of fatigue, but in general, his condition is good.
When we got word of the President's return and ran up to the bridge, he was smiling and chatting with Pops and Captain Anderson. Apparently, he spent his days confined in the old castle, looking at the 7 Ground Zero craters right out his window, which served as the border between the two countries of North and South Belka. In the end, the Osean army couldn't take the Yuktobanian capital, and the war began to bog down. for Belka, who challenged the world to battle, but were crushed by the twin powers of Osea and Yuktobania. There could be no sweeter revenge. They had created the hatred between the two countries, hoping that the war would eventually exhaust them both. The military officials on both sides were playing right into their hands. The intelligence vessel continued to intercept the Yuktobanian army's communications. One message from Air Force Traffic Control contained a string of mysterious numbers. Latitude, longitude, a date and time, and one more set of numbers. The president had the answer.
Well, how about that? These are the numbers of votes I won in my presidential elections. Huh, this is from the first time I won, and here's the number from the election 2 years ago. This message was meant for me.
The coordinates marked a location within North Balkan territory. The date was tomorrow. The squadron from Sand Island became the president's personal air fleet, even as the official reports continued to state that they were shot down and killed. This was their new emblem.
We're carrying out a reconnaissance mission in order to obtain photographs of the enemy complex. After deciphering the code we received earlier, we've learned that the mining facility in the forest area northwest of Belka is active. An early warning radar network has been spread across the entire forest. To reduce the probability of enemy detection, this mission will be carried out by a single aircraft. Try to approach the target under complete electronic silence, evading radar and passive search techniques. Flying at low altitude is an effective method of delaying or denying enemy detection. You will receive instructions on your recon target from the Command Information Center upon arriving in the mission area. The CIC will monitor you from a support camera. Concentrate on slipping through the enemy radar net first. Your plane in this mission will be completely stripped of weaponry. Instead, it will be equipped with the necessary visual reconnaissance equipment. There is a chance you may encounter the enemy, but your recon mission always takes top priority. Once you take the photos, egress from the target area and return through the enemy defenses as directed. The recon mission in the mining facility was a success. The images taken clearly show aircraft from the Yuktobanian aggressor squadron parked next to planes from the mysterious 8492nd Squadron. We will continue to analyze the photographs you took. Analysis of the surveillance photos taken on the previous mission revealed tactical nuclear weapons of the same type used by Belka in the war 15 years ago. These weapons, hidden in the mine, are about to be retrieved and deployed to the two aggressor squadrons in Osea and Yuktobania. The President has made his decision. Destroy the entrance to the mine before the next nuclear weapon is removed from the shaft, and bury those weapons of evil inside for good. This mission will be carried out with the usual 4-ship formation. You'll need powerful and numerous weapons on target to destroy the rock face above the entrance.
The Grabach are already gone.
They must have already taken away some of the nukes.
Maybe we were too late. Let's destroy the mine entrance anyway.
You see that rock bed above the entrance? Shoot at that.
I probably won't be able to bring it down in one shot. Keep on attacking until it crumbles.
Mission accomplished. Thanks to that rock avalanche, the mine entrance is now sealed off, and the tactical nukes have been removed as a threat to the world. Intel has lost track of the nukes they already removed, but it is certain that the weapons sealed in the mine shaft will never be deployed.
We've intercepted another mysterious radio transmission. This time it specifies a location within Yuktobania. It's probably... Well, this is just a hunch on my part, but I bet that's where the nuclear weapon sent into Yuktobania is located. And there's another set of numbers. This time it's a radio frequency.
Your next mission is a reconnaissance flight above a canyon in the northern highlands of Yuktobania, the place described in the unidentified radio transmission. The highlands are completely covered by the Yuktobania air defense system, so the only safe place to fly is within the canyon itself. Fly down the canyon and reach the target area. Once you're there, set your radio channel to the directed frequency and begin gathering information. You may be engaged by local Yuktobanian forces, and depending on the contents of the transmission, you may also find yourself engaging in other combat as well. You are permitted to fight the enemy as necessary, but you must try to keep your altitude below the rim of the canyon.
Oh, wow, it's true, they've come! Fighter jets! I can tell because I'm intercepting enemy alert signals as well. Can you hear this?
Who are you? Identify yourself.
A great number of students and intellectuals are staging a resistance against the military government of Yuktobania. You can call me Alyosha. That's not my real name, of course. I'm so glad you actually came. It's just like he said.
He?
We have no time. Let me explain the situation.
We received contact from an apparent resistance group that seized and captured one of Yuktobania's nuclear weapons. Intelligence believes that it's one of the nukes taken from the mine before we sealed it off on the 12th. Furthermore, our radar has detected numerous enemy fighters entering the canyon and flying towards the local airspace. The force includes Yuktobanian fighters and armed helicopters. Their mission is most likely to destroy the Resistance's hideout. The enemy fighters are spread out throughout the canyon, so we believe that the Yuktobanians still don't have the exact location of the hideout. Destroy the enemy forces before they can find and wipe out the Resistance. As mentioned previously, the local space is blanketed by Yuktobania's air defense system. Watch your altitude, and whatever you do, don't fly above the rim of the canyon.
This is Omnia 2. You sure it's them? This is Omnia 1. I said that's what I heard. The ghosts of the demons of Rosgreaves. You're kidding. They all sunk to the bottom of the ocean. Didn't the guys from Grabok tell you that? We'll find out if they're ghosts or not when we take them on in combat.
All Ovnir fighters shot down. Looks like the other enemy forces bugged out on us too.
Okay, we've dismantled the bomb. Did you fend off the enemy forces for us?
For now.
We're going into the ocean to discard the bomb piece by piece. Nobody will ever be able to use it as a weapon again. If you can, please protect us until we make it into the ocean.
We will. But what about...
Don't be surprised, but our ship? It's a submarine. There's nothing we can't get our hands on. I told you, we have a lot of allies.
All right. But who told you that we'd definitely be coming for you?
I don't know his name, but he left a message for your captain. I'll read it. It says, "Hey, Booby, I hear you're a hell of a squad captain now. Do you get it?"
Yes, perfectly.
Mission accomplished. The information we obtained, as well as the physical damage we caused, dealt a significant blow to the enemy. Judging by our analysis of the information, there appears to be a highly organized resistance force acting against the Yuktobanian military regime. It is likely the nuclear weapon which Yuktobania acquired was safely dismantled by the resistance. The intelligence vessel Andromeda has picked up another encrypted transmission in Belkin. They have changed the code, so it took a little longer to decipher the message. The content is as follows. N attack by ASAT on Oktyabrsky to commence at 1400 hours. Apparently, efforts to secretly repair the sabotaged Arkbird are now complete. We confirmed this by observing its orbit from the ground. We believe that a Belkin nuke has already been loaded onto the Arkbird. In order for the Arkbird to attack the city of Oktyabrsky in Yuktobania at 1400 hours, it must make one major correction to its orbital trajectory. To do this, it must first drop into the upper atmosphere and use air friction to lower its speed. We have already calculated the time and location in which this maneuver will occur. Your mission is to destroy the Arkbird. You will only have one chance to stop it. Destroy it before it withdraws from the battle zone.
It just jettisoned something.
It's an escape capsule.
Adler to Shanseng. You got away.
The Ocean astronaut?
Yeah, it's all right. We don't need him anymore. Oh, damn it. He must have done something to the control system before he got away. Turn off that switch. Damn, we're slowing down. We're gonna dive deep into the atmosphere.
We succeeded in halting the Arkbird's nuclear attack on the city of Oktyabrsky in Yuktobania. The Arkbird crashed into the middle of the Saras Ocean after attempting to detonate the nuke above Osea. Miraculously, there were no ships near the area of the crash site. According to our investigation team, there is currently no evidence of radiation fallout in the area.
The President broadcast his voice repeatedly in an effort to reveal the truth to his citizens and soldiers. However, the central government, now run by the Vice President and his generals, censored all of it, calling it enemy propaganda. And Yuktobania, their enemy, wasn't about to stop fighting either. The President needed to enter the capital himself with his Marine force. But that meant risking his life. As he boarded the helicopter, the President smiled and said, "Here goes." The third encrypted message from Bartlett came shortly after. This time, there were no coordinates. All it showed was a time and a radio frequency. At the appointed time, everyone gathered in front of the radio speaker.
Hey, it's me! Get the wax out of your ears and listen up. We found Nicanor, the leader of Yuktobania, and we broke him out of prison. This war wasn't his doing at all.
Captain Bartlett has rescued Prime Minister Nicanor of Yuktobania. He plans to attack an airfield in northeast Yuktobania, steal an airplane, and then escape with the Prime Minister. First, go to the directed area and wait for contact from Captain Bartlett. He'll likely have you support him as he forces his way into the airfield. More mission details will be supplied to you upon arriving at the local airspace. Threat status in the area of operation is unclear, so prepare your flight for the possibility of threats from both the ground and the air.
It's me. I'm okay so far, and the car's hidden under a bush. Other Resistance members are hidden all over the place. I still got a bad feeling about this. We're storming the gate at 0705 hours. Keep us covered. I'm counting on you. I think there's gonna be an ambush waiting for us.
According to Captain Bartlett's information, the Resistance has already infiltrated the airfield and is currently awaiting his arrival. The road to the airfield is covered with checkpoints and defensive positions. We anticipate stiff resistance. Provide close air support for Captain Bartlett's charge, give him aerial reconnaissance as necessary, and guide him to the airfield. The Resistance has already agreed on a time to begin operations with Captain Bartlett, so the timing of the mission cannot be changed. If you do not arrive in time, the Resistance will be suppressed by the airfield defense forces and the mission will end in failure. After arriving, the Resistance will load Prime Minister Nicanor onto a captured transport plane and Captain Bartlett will attempt to escape. You must help Captain Bartlett arrive at the airfield on time, no matter what.
I saw those planes plunge into the ocean along with the colonel on my radar. It's them, the ghosts of Rosgreaves. They were the ones that attacked the line, too. All right, let's find out for ourselves and them.
The 8492nd Squadron, or the Belkan-Grabok Squadron to be more exact, has been annihilated. Yuktobanian Prime Minister Nicanor is also safe. Mission accomplished.
He had returned once more. He brought Nicanor, the Prime Minister of Yuktobania, with him, and surprisingly, he had brought one more person. A female recon major in the Yuk Army, the one who broke his heart 15 years ago. It became clear why nobody could find him in the POW camps. The very first POW of the war, he had escaped before they could even get him into the camps. Yuktobania's situation was just like ours. Their leader, who espoused reconciliation, was imprisoned after a silent coup d'etat, and the country proceeded to march right into large-scale war. What should I call you?
Just Major.
What's your real name? All she did was return a smile. She remained faithful to the Prime Minister and to his vision of peace, and that faith had brought her here. She was carrying a single disc. She told us that the disc contained the secret plans of the Belkan Grey Men. So far, we have been unable to decipher the encryption code.
The Solg, a military attack satellite that your country began building during the war 15 years ago, then abandoned in the peace that followed. The Arkbird was reborn partly to resurrect that dreadful star. Now, even after the Arkbird was destroyed, the Space Center's mass driver is still launching supplies into orbit. What is that star receiving from them?
All hands proceed to battle stations. Yuktobanian fleet ahead.
The enemy fleet contains 18 ships, arrayed in a battle formation designed to block our fleet's path.
Attention, Yuktobanian fleet. This is Prime Minister Nicanor, representative of your government. I am on the...
Kestrel? Yes, Kestrel.
I am on the ocean carrier Kestrel, for the sake of restoring peace between our Yuktobania and the country of Osea. We will once again...
Attention, all vessels. The only thing that exists between Yuktobania and Osea is hatred. Prime Minister Nicanor has joined the enemy. Recognize him as such and sink the enemy fleet with him. But Commander, there's the Prime Minister talking. Please, stand down. We don't know what we're fighting for anymore. Sir, please, cancel engagement and stand down. All vessels loyal to the fleet. A traitor is blocking our way. Attack the frigate ship Potomac. Open fire!
Prime Minister, please take your leave. But go to our president and get a televised picture of the two of you together, shaking hands. Show it to the world.
The situation is critical. We must help provide stability as quickly as possible. The Kestrel CIC's IFF info will be directly connected to your HUD, so you'll be able to get an ID on your targets. Engage and render powerless all forces carrying out acts of aggression against the Kestrel and our new allied fleet. The chaos has subsided. All Yuktobanian ships in the area, as well as all hostile Osean forces, have been brought under control. A decision was made to quickly form a combined fleet of Yuktobanian and Osean ships, with the Kestrel as its flagship.
We've decoded the disc that the Major brought back with her. It contained the blueprints for a mass retaliation weapon, codenamed V2. A far more powerful weapon than the two tactical nukes that the Belkans used in the last war. It was never fully developed at the time, but it appears that they've secretly completed its construction in the 15 years since the war. The V2 is a MIRV missile. It can wipe out half of all the large cities in either Osea or Yuktobania. So where would they deploy it? It had to be in the Sol, which was also secretly completed and is now operational. After all, it was built to function as an orbital platform for such weapons in the first place. The Sol itself is unmanned. Now it's controlled from the ground, but we didn't know where. Then, the intelligence vessel Andromeda tracked down the origin of Shantzei's transmissions to the Arkbird. It's in the former South Belka, a state entrusted to Osean rule, and now called North Osea. To be more precise, the transmissions originated from an experimental facility owned by Grunder Industries, a manufacturer of the weapons we use. The president of Grunder has sworn allegiance to Osea, but in truth, he was a secret member of the Grey Men. Under the guise of their experimental facility, they are actually digging a gigantic tunnel under the mountain range that runs along the border dividing North and South Belka. Their ultimate goal is to reunite the two Belkas, and in that tunnel...
The Kestrel just took a missile hit. Enemy unknown. We can't identify it in time. Additional missile approaching. Rosgreaves, launch immediately and gain altitude to escape.
Are we... Rosgreaves, launch!
Second wave of missiles inbound. 10 seconds to impact. Counter with artillery barrage. We can't hit all of them. Brace for impact.
Starboard side flood! Damage control! We've been hit by 2 sub-launch missiles. The ship's listing.
Launch them out.
We can't. The ship's listing heavily to starboard. We're sinking fast.
Continue with the launch.
What?
Take them up. Hurry up with the catapult. Just concentrate on launching them. All hands not conducting aircraft launch, abandon ship immediately.
We're getting you guys into the air no matter what. I don't care what happens to the catapult. Aircraft launch confirmed. Catapult crew will now evacuate the ship.
She's sinking! The ship
Kestrel is gone.
I've lost time and time again. But now, I finally won.
Huh?
Look, we launched them off safely. There's my victory. As long as they're in the air, I haven't lost. And I know they'll succeed.
Yeah.
The captain was humming a tune. The same song I heard from the anti-war audience in the stadium. He was the one playing that record in the middle of a sea battle.
This is President Harlan of the Osean Federation. Attention, all Osean and Yuktobanian officers and soldiers currently on the battlefield. Let us put down our guns and come out of the trenches. The Osean capital of Alred has been freed of the people who took advantage of my absence to usurp control of the country. Once robbed of my freedom and of my ability to do the right thing, I now stand again under the light of the Golden Sun. And I do so with the Honorable Yuktobanian Prime Minister Nicanor by my side. We have resolved our terrible and unfortunate misunderstandings, and the war is now over.
This is Prime Minister Nicanor, Head of Government for the Union of Yuktobanian Republics. Attention all officers and soldiers of Osea and Yuktobania currently on the battlefield. Please watch as President Harlan and I stand shoulder to shoulder, hand in hand. President Harlan's words are true. The war is over, but there is one more battle that still needs to be fought.
We believe that those who have tried to stir hatred between us are now preparing a weapon that could wipe our path of all metropolitan areas in either one of our countries. Our comrades are in flight as I speak, determined to stop this plan dead in its tracks. Which country is under the threat of mass destruction? That we do not know.
However, that is no longer important. No matter which country is hit, it would be a severe blow to all of us.
So now I ask you, members of the military, if you see it in your hearts, please utilize the resources available to you and help out our brave pilots. Right now they are flying east to meet the enemy.
To those who still dare to hide behind the power of their hateful weapons, bring yourself before the light of peace and harmony.
Those are Yuk fighters.
Roger, Blaze. This is the Yuktobanian 703rd Squadron. We heard the President's speech. We will fight with you.
Let us sing that song too. We're going with you. So are we.
This is the Osean 1st Fighter Wing. I just knocked out the brigade commander. We'd also like to help. This is the Yuktobanian 172nd Fighter Bomber Squadron. We love that song too. We brought an AWACS with us.
We got a message from your boss. I'll patch it in.
The Soul just docked with the last cargo shipment from the mass driver. It may be fully operational soon. The Andromeda has tracked down its transmission link. It's still coming from Shansei. I'll be briefing you, so pay attention.
We will attack the Solg control system, located in a giant tunnel under the Valdrak Mountains. The tunnel entrance is located at the foot of the mountains, and the entire area is covered by mountains and waterways. First, an armored force will try to move in from the town to infiltrate the wharf, where the entrance to the control system is located. There are several enemy defense positions built along the path that the armored force will take, so air support will be vital for their invasion. Meanwhile, a helicopter formation will attack the control system entrance and capture the nearby area. We're also expecting the helicopters to face anti-air resistance, so we'll need support to put down enemy fire around the entrance. Your squadron's mission is to protect the armored force and clear out a landing area for the Heliborn fleet. Once both units capture the facility entrance, a Special Forces team will open up the shutter blocking the way inside. Go through the open entrance and destroy the Solg control system from the inside.
Is a storybook character who is called both a demon and a hero. Man, that's a big tunnel. All right, we're opening the tunnel entrance.
We've come across a blueprint of the tunnel facility on the Major's disk. The Solg control system is in the deepest part of the tunnel. We can't touch it from the entrance. Fly into the tunnel, attack the control system in the deepest part of the complex, and escape out the tunnel exit on the opposite side. This is extremely dangerous, but there's no other way to do this. There are two central components to the control system. You must destroy them both, but you can only destroy one of them per attack run. Furthermore, the ground forces will not be able to keep the entrance shutters open for very long. There's not enough time for you to go back into the tunnel again after the first run. So, a separate plane will have to go in from the other side at the same time. We have only one chance. Synchronize your run with the second plane to attack both components simultaneously and destroy the Solg control system.
All aircraft begin operation. Fly into the tunnel.
According to the sources close to the president, the Rosgrees consist of 4... One of the pilots is reportedly a female, but we haven't been able to confirm this yet.
The demon returns as a great hero. Maybe it's not a fairy tale after all.
We'll just have to stay glued to the captain.
Target neutralized!
This is Heartbreak 1. I destroyed the system core on my end.
This is Archer. Captain Bartlett is approaching at high speed from our 12 o'clock. Is he going to...
Gotta do it.
I'll be passing you by head on at full speed, all right? Break right on the count of 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yeah!
Where's Hamilton?
He's dead. Hit by a ricocheting plane.
Emergency transmission from Central. The Solg's descent was detected by our radar at 0445 hours. We believe it was programmed to automatically descend if control was ever cut off from the surface. We have calculated the Solg's course of descent from its previous orbit. Its estimated landing point is downtown Aured, the capital of Osea. Get to the Solg's descent point as quickly as possible and destroy it before it hits Aured. You must complete the mission and come back alive. Anything less is not acceptable. Rosgrees, we wish you the best of luck. Launch.
Your final sortie. It's almost kind of sad, huh? All right, launch preparations complete. Good luck out there, Rosgrees.
This is Okanyeva. Hurry to the target area. The later you get there, the less time you'll have to attack the Solg. The Solg will descend to a vulnerable altitude in 5 minutes.
The Solg is falling!
We have to get to the Solg! Fast!
Captain!
Blaze!
Blaze,
These fighters are definitely the Rosgrees.
Blaze!
Okanyeva to the coast of Rosgrees. New enemy planes on the radar. It's a double Belkin formation. Ovmir and Grabak.
We will restore the pride we had 15 years ago. It's time to settle this evil, Ravens.
8 tough enemies! My heart's racing! My whole body's shaking!
All enemy planes destroyed!
I see light to the east. Morning's coming.
Our night flight is over. I can't wait to see it. The most beautiful sunrise ever.
And the sun will continue to rise now and forever.
One minute!
I just remembered. My birthday's coming up next week.
See? Aren't you glad you're still alive?
I bet my mom will be happy to see my brother come back home from Yuktobania.
You ought to go make her happy, too. We're almost done here.
The Solg has fallen to an altitude low enough for you to attack. I know you can do this. Destroy it!
We gotta stop that thing, Grim!
I know! Captain Nagase!
Yeah! Blaze, let's go!
I've received a data link from your guy, Bobs, with the Solg's structural details. The Solg's outer shell has a rotating accelerator. The only way you can attack its core structure directly is through the gaps in this accelerator. That's bad news. This will be tough. The Solg is 80 miles from the capital city, Aured.
It's falling. It's so huge.
We gotta destroy it! Don't let it hit the ground in one piece!
That's the Solg's core component. You can't hit it just by firing at random.
Captain, we need you here!
We have the hearts of thousands backing us, and the lives of so many more in front of us.
History witnesses a great change. Razgriz reveals itself, first as a dark demon. As a demon, it uses its power to rain death upon the land. And then it dies. However, after a period of slumber, Razgriz returns, this time as a great hero.
Don't tell me you can't hear them.
Peace has once again spread across the world. The aces of Razgriz never flew in the skies of battle again. Above the clouds, there was only a clear blue sky, no longer in need of heroes. And perhaps that's exactly what they were hoping for, all this time.
Journey begins, starts from within, things that I need to know. The song of the bird echoed in words, flying for the to fly, thoughts endless in flight, day turns to night, questions you ask your soul, which way do I go, how fast is too slow. Journey has its time, and The storm